What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. These are my Draftkings MMA picks for UFC Vegas 49. We have Islam Makhachev going against Bobby Green.
I need all the wins, yeah. Harder than all that is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
And we're back for another DFS slate this week. We do have 11 fights. We did lose the Hannah Goldie Jinyu Fry fight, which I don't think many people are going to care about that one. But yeah, still 11 fights. The main event's really good. We have a couple good fights mixed in on there. Misha Cirkunov, Wellington Turman, the co-main event. Arman Sarukian, Joel Alvarez should be a very good fight. We have Terrence McKinney on the prelims going against Faraz Ziam. It's a solid card, maybe not the most name value, but I do think it's going to be a fun one. Before we get started, if you guys can please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are not already. I'll be going live Friday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time after the weigh-ins, and then 1 hour prior to the prelims, as always, on Saturday. Be sure to check out dfsbythenumbers.com if you do want extra information, more content, lineup optimizer, lineup percentages, projections, all that good stuff. Check it out, the articles, all that good stuff. Check that out. The link is in the description, or go to dfsbythenumbers.com. But I say we get right into it here. We'll start, as always, with the fight doesn't go to decision lines. We have Arman Petrosyan Rodriguez, minus 325. Fight doesn't go to decision. And yeah, I totally agree with that. I think this fight's going to finish inside the distance. I think this fight probably finishes within a round and a half as well. I kind of see this fight playing out one of two ways. Either Rodriguez gets his fight down to the mat early, which I think is very likely, considering Petrosyan's takedown defense is not good at all. Rodriguez legit black belt in BJJ. I think the early sub is live. But if Petrosyan is able to survive that first round, if he's able to work his way back up to his feet like he does in a lot of his fights, at range, this guy is a serious problem. This guy has a ton of power. Both these guys are finishers. Both these guys can be finished. This fight's going to end inside the distance. It's really hard to see this fight not finding its way in the optimal lineup. Rodriguez 8,500. I think in a win, he has a first round finish upside. Same thing with Petrosyan at 7,700. Not a ton of dogs I like, but he's a dog that I feel like has a lot of upside. So a fight overall, and I'm going to be targeting very heavy. Islam Makhachev, Bobby Green, minus 325. Fight doesn't go to decision. I think the finish is mostly on the Makhachev side. Bobby Green's only finished one opponent, and I think like the last 10 years just about, and that was the finish against Ally Quinta. But I think Makhachev probably does submit him here, and I'm going to have most of my lineups are going to have Islam. I'm probably going to be my highest still, and I have not built lineups yet, but I'm going to have a ton of Islam. I'm not going to have a ton of Green. I just don't see many paths to victory for him. Is he going to knock out Islam Makhachev? Probably not. Is he going to submit Islam Makhachev? Probably not. Is he going to stuff takedowns and outfly Islam Makhachev on the feet? Probably not. So I'm very high on Islam this week, and I do feel like he will be popular, and rightfully so, but I also feel like Bobby Green's going to get some popularity this week as well. I see a lot of people on him, but for me, it's more on the Islam side, and I'm not going to be playing a ton of Green personally. Misha Cirkunov going against Wellington Turman. This is a pretty good fight to target. I'm more on the Cirkunov side myself, but you take a look at it. Both these guys are solid finishers. Cirkunov an 87% finish rate, and Cirkunov has been finished in 6 out of 7 losses. So, Cirkunov's a finisher, but he definitely can be finished. I think someone probably does get finished in this fight as well. And, like I said, I do like Cirkunov quite a bit. I think he can mix in takedowns here. I think on top he's very dangerous with submissions or ground and pound. And I think he could eventually get Wellington Turman out there. But I don't want to completely write off Wellington Turman. Again, Cirkunov has been finished 6 times out of 7 losses. That is something to definitely note. I'm going to have more Cirkunov here, but I don't hate Wellington Turman as a dog here. Michael Gilmore, Ramiz Brahimaj. Not going to play a ton of Michael Gilmore, but I will be all over Ramiz Brahimaj in this fight. Michael Gilmore finished in all of his losses, most of them coming by submission, also submitted in the first round by submission on The Ultimate Fighter. Ramiz Brahimaj, 100% finish rate, all of his wins coming by submission, in all of them but one coming in the first round, and the other one that did not come in the first round came in like the first minute of the second round. So, yeah, I think it's a Ramiz smash spot here. Going to have a ton of them. It's hard to be overly confident in the guy because he has dropped the ball many times before. The cardio is not good. He's coming in on short notice, but I just don't think Michael Gilmore is UFC caliber. So, going to have a ton of Brahimaj in that minus 180. Fight is a good decision line there. All right. We have our core plays. Islam Makhachev talked about a little bit. He's going to have 5 rounds to work with. I think he's going to have a lot of takedown upside here. Bobby Green on paper He does have a 72% takedown defense, but he's been taken down a lot. I think he's been taken down in over 10 different fights in his career, and Makhachev's going to be easily the best wrestler, best grappler he has fought thus far. I think he probably does submit Bobby Green at some point as well, so I think there's finish upside. Bobby Green taking this fight on short notice, having to cut weight, twice in the span of a couple weeks is not good. I think it's a good spot for Islam Makhachev. I feel comfortable with, putting him in cash. I feel comfortable with putting him in a lot of tournaments. I think he has a high upside. So yeah, I'm going to have a ton of Islam Makhachev this week. I think he will be high owned, but I don't think his ownership is going to be extremely crazy. He is 9,500. I think that might scare some people away. And I also think that a lot of people are going to be on that Bobby Green side. So I like Islam here, 9,500, going to have a ton of them. Misha Cirkunov, 8,300, talked about it a little bit as well. Takedown upside, finish upside. This guy's an all-out finisher, an 87% finish rate, 33% by knockout, 53% by submission. We submitted legit black belts before. Turman's a black belt. Turman's also been knocked out twice, once by Andrew Sanchez. I think the ground and pounds live, the submissions live, or even taking down Turman, winning a decision, racking up multiple takedowns is live as well. So I do like Cirkunov. Of course, there are some concerns. His chin is a concern for sure. He has been knocked out a lot, but he's getting knocked out by light heavyweights that hit very, very hard, like a Ryan Spann, a Johnny Walker. I don't think Turman is anywhere near the caliber of those guys, especially in terms of the power. So I like Cirkunov quite a bit. I think he gets it done, 8,300. Rodriguez, 8,500. I think somebody's getting finished here. I think Rodriguez has an easy path to victory of getting this down to the mat. Petrosian's takedown defense is horrendous. I see Petrosian get taken down multiple times in each and every fight that I've watched outside of the one where he got knocked out in like 60 seconds. I think Rodriguez is very live for not only a submission win, but a first-round submission win, maybe a TKO. On the feet, he's going to be in trouble and danger a little bit. I think Rodriguez's striking is good. It's just the path to least resistance is getting this fight down to the mat. If he does not get this fight down to the mat, he's going to give Petrosian a lot of opportunities. Petrosian's a no joke on the feet. But yeah, give me Rodriguez. I think he has first-round finish upside here. But I will have a ton of Petrosian as well. It's a fight I want to be very heavy on. Ramiz Brahimaj, 9,300. I like him a lot as well. Again, Gilmore, I don't think he's UFC caliber. I don't think his ground game is good. He's been submitted a million times, finished in all of his losses. Brahimaj, he's actually a really good wrestler. I think I'll have no problem getting it down to the mat, and then a very good grappler as well. The only problem is that short notice aspect, but I feel like he's able to get Gilmore out there probably in that first round. So I do like Brahimaj quite a bit at 9,300. GPP plays here, tournament plays. Arman Tsarukyan, 9,100. I feel like in a win for Arman Tsarukyan, it's going to be a bunch of takedowns. This guy's a very good wrestler. I feel like it's a bunch of control time. I don't necessarily see him finishing Joel Alvarez, but Alvarez has a 0% takedown defense. This guy does not stuff takedowns. He's welcoming the takedowns, and I think he will probably welcome the takedowns of Tsarukyan. Tsarukyan's obviously going to have to mind his P's and Q's. Really on the feet, on the mat. Alvarez is very dangerous with a 100% finish rate, but I think in a Tsarukyan win, he can score very, very well. And I do think Alvarez will be one of the more popular dogs of the week, and rightfully so. But, Tsarukyan, I feel like he can score well here. And this fight is a fight to target in general, I'd say. Fares Ziam, 8,400. And this is another fight that I do want to target quite a bit of. Terrence McKinney is a guy that in 14 fights has never seen the scorecards. He's been to the third round once. He's never been over 2.5 rounds. He has a 100% finish rate in his wins and in his losses as well. And Ziam has not shown it in the UFC, but this guy's a finisher. A 75% finish rate, finishing 9 out of his 12 wins. McKinney, I think he can come out here, have success early, and potentially finish Ziam. But we have seen McKinney, if he does not get that early finish, he does slow down, more particularly in that Sean Woodson fight where he was taking down Woodson, controlling him in the first round. He kind of fell off a cliff in that second round and got finished there. I could see a situation like that where, McKinney's not able to get Ziam out of there, and then Ziam eventually gets him out of there in that second or third round. So I don't hate Ziam. I think this fight's going to finish one way or another. I am personally on the McKinney side. I think McKinney finishes early, but if not, I can definitely see McKinney slowing down and Ziam getting him out of there himself. So I do like Ziam. For tournaments, would not go there in cash, though. Josiane Nunez, 8,900. This fight is an absolute dumpster fire. The price tag is definitely concerning, but she's a finisher, obviously. She throws with a ton of power. That we just don't know a ton about Ramona Pascual. She looks like she's improving. She's at Syndicate MMA, But, you go back and watch some fights from her a couple of years ago. She doesn't look too good, but again, it looks like she's getting a little bit better. And Nunes, there are some question marks with her as well. She has not fought the best competition. I will say she's fought the better competition. But we have seen her slow down as the fight goes on. We've seen her taken down, stuck off her back. But she's going to come forward. She's going to throw hard. An 88% finish rate, which is nuts. Pascual, an 83% finish rate. This fight probably does finish. Ramona's been finished in both of her losses. I don't hate some Josiane Nunes, but it's not something I'd go to in cash. And I'm really, not even comfortable with it in tournaments, but I think you got to play some of this fight. And even the dog shot on Ramona Pascual at 7,300 is something that's intriguing as well. But yeah, Nunes should come out here and start her, but it's just a sketchy fight. Jin Young Kim, 8,600. I think she'll be very low owned here, and the reason why I think this is a sneaky play, for one, Priscilla Cachoeira fights, they tend to score very, very, very well. Whether it's either her winning or in her losses, her opponents are scoring extremely well, and that is because she absorbs nearly 7 significant strikes per minute. She has a 40% striking defense. Everything that Kim throws, it's going to land. And Kim actually throws a lot of volume here. So, I think Kim has a decent chance to, score a lot of points here. She's not going to get takedowns. I don't like that. She's probably not going to knock out Priscilla. I don't like that. But she's going to have an opportunity to throw and land a lot here. And that could be enough. On an 11-fight slate, I'm not in love with this play, but I feel like in a win, Kim could score very good. Again, she's going to throw a lot of volume, and a lot of that volume is going to land because Priscilla Cachoeira does not have any strike defense whatsoever. So I don't hate Kim as a tournament play, but I'm more so on the Cachoeira side with a $1,000 savings, and we'll talk about that for the live dogs. Speaking of the live dogs, we have Terrence McKinney, 7,800, a 100% finish rate for Terrence McKinney. I think he has wrestling upside, submission upside. He actually has more submissions than he does knockouts. I think his submission game is very underrated, and I think he's going to show that off here against Ziam, who has been submitted 2 times. I like McKinney here to get it done, and probably in the first round, one of the more intriguing dogs in the slate. Armen Petrosian, 7,700. A fight that I want to target, a fight that I feel like could go either way. I feel like if he can stuff the takedowns early, keep this on the feet, he's going to have multiple opportunities to find a knockout against Rodriguez, who's been knocked out, a couple times. And he has a lot of power. This guy's good, but the takedown defense is an extreme liability. He can be taken down really whenever. So I feel like Rodriguez has all the tools to win this fight. But if he can survive, get this fight extended a little bit, I think he's very live for a knockout. Joel Alvarez, 7,100. Probably one of the more popular dogs on the slate. I get it, has a 100% finish rate, and I am picking Alvarez outright. And I thought I'd have like a hot take on that one. I thought I'd be on an island, but if anything, I'm on the opposite. Everybody's on the Joel Alvarez island this week, and I don't like that. But this guy, he's huge. He's going to look like 3 weight classes bigger than Arman Tsarukyan, and he's a very tricky fighter to deal with because not only is he extremely dangerous on the feet, very long on the feet, but he's very dangerous on the mat as well. Again, a 100% finish rate, the majority of those coming by submission. I think he'll have opportunities to finish, and if he does win, it will be by finish. Tsarukyan has been knocked out before, never been submitted, but yeah, Alvarez, 16% knockout rate, 84% by submission. I think it's something to definitely target at that price tag, but sadly, I do think it'll be pretty high owned. And then Priscilla Cachoeira, 7,600. Sloppy fight, greasy fight, could really go either way. Priscilla's going to pressure, make Kim uncomfortable. She's going to have more the finish upside in this fight. If this fight does finish, it's going to be from her. She's the harder hitter. It wouldn't shock me if Priscilla won. But we'll see what happens. But at 7,600, I'd rather go there than the Kim. At 8,600, I think there's a nice savings there, but I'm not confident in this fight. It's a very tricky one. And I'll also mention Ramona Pascual as like a low-owned dart throw at 7,300. Just a lot of unknowns in that fight. Could see her maybe pulling off the upset. But yeah, other than that, I think those were all the dogs that really did stick out to me. I'm not going to play Gilmore. I'm not really going to touch Perez much. That's about it there. Rong Zhu's interesting, 7,200. I think he's an interesting option. And we'll talk about him here. 7,200. It's an interesting fight. I'm picking Bahamondes, but Rong Zhu could make it competitive on the feet. He does hit hard, but I think the big thing for Rong Zhu is going to be getting this fight down to the mat. He's a very solid wrestler, Bahamondes did show very, very good takedown defense in his last fight, much improved takedown defense. But, Rong Zhu's going to wrestle here. If he can get those takedowns, those will add up. If he does wrestle and get those takedowns, it could be a close fight. He could win a decision here. I don't hate some shots on Rong Zhu, especially at 7,200. I personally do like Bahamondes, but I think Rong Zhu's worth some shots here. And then my fade, this is definitely going to upset a lot of people, but I'm personally fading Bobby Green for the most part. And I wasn't going to have him as my fade. I was going to have Jin Yu Fry. I thought Fry was probably the easiest fade of the year, but I just don't see myself having much Green. I do think Green's going to gain some ownership, so it only gives me more reason to fade Green. I just don't like his chances in this fight. Again, he's not a knockout threat. He's not a submission threat. For him to win this fight, he's going to have to stuff multiple takedowns, keep it on the feet for long enough, and I just don't see that happening. I'm going to have a ton of Islam here, so not going to have a ton of Green, but he is going to be my fade of the week. I know it's going to piss a lot of people off, but yeah, not going to be touching Bobby Green. And yeah, that is about it. Thank you guys for watching as always. Looking forward to this week. 11 fights. Hopefully make some money this week. Should be fun. Check out dfsbythenumbers.com. The projections are all updated. The optimizer and ownership projections are all updated. Targets are updated. Lineup percentages coming out soon, and the article coming out soon as well. And yeah, that's about it. Leave a like on your way out. Subscribe, and good luck in UFC Vegas 49.